Welcome friends, myself I am Yoganandam, biology lecturer. In today's class, we are going to discuss about one of the important topic from 12th standard biology. The topic is molecular basis of inheritance. This topic is important for your board examination as well as for NEET examination. Before going to the topic, those who are watching our YouTube channel, you are requested to like, subscribe and share to your friends. Let us begin the topic. The nature of those factors regulating the pattern of inheritance was not clear at the time of Mendel. The nature of the putative genetic material was investigated over the next 100 years, and it was concluded that the genetic material, at least for majority of organism, is DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid. Let us discuss about the DNA. So you all know DNA and RNA are the molecules which are responsible for the inheritance of characters. In majority of organisms, DNA acts as genetic material which carries information from one generation to another generation. In some plant viruses, RNA acts as genetic material as well as in some animal viruses also. First, we are going to discuss about DNA. The two types of nucleic acids found in the living system are, deoxyribonucleic acid, that is DNA, and ribonucleic acid, RNA. In most of the organisms, DNA acts as the genetic material. RNA mostly functions as messenger, through it also acts as genetic material in some viruses. Apart from having some additional roles which include functioning as an adapter, structural, and in some cases as a catalytic molecule, DNA is the most interesting molecule in the living system and is a long polymer of deoxyribonucleotides. Number of nucleotides, that is a pair of nucleotide referred to as base pair, present in it define the length of DNA, which also forms the characteristics of an organism. Then we are going to discuss about the structure of polynucleotide chain. A nitrogenous base, a pentose sugar, that is ribose in case of RNA, and deoxyribose for DNA, and a phosphate group are the three components seen in nucleotide. Purines such as adenine and guanine, and pyrimidines such as cytosine and uracil and thymine are the two types of nitrogenous bases. Purines such as adenine and guanine are same in both DNA and RNA, while thymine is present in DNA. Cytosine is common for both DNA and RNA. In the place of thymine, uracil is present in RNA. To form a nucleotide such as adenosine or deoxyadenosine, guanosine or deoxyguanosine, cytidine or deoxycytidine, and uridine, a nitrogenous base is linked to the OH of first carbon pentose sugar through a N-glycosidic linkage. A corresponding nucleotide or deoxynucleotide, depending upon the type of sugar present, is formed when a phosphate group is linked to 5-OH of nucleoside through phosphodiester linkage, that is phosphoester linkage, to form a dinucleotide. The phosphate group is attached to carbon 5th of the sugar of its own nucleotide and carbon 3 of sugar of next nucleotide. Refer the diagrammatic representation. How does it is attached? It is very clearly given with the help of diagrammatic representation. Hydroxyl group, that is OH group of sugar and H group of phosphate, are eliminated as H2O during each ester bond formation. The nucleic acid such as DNA or RNA gains acidity from the phosphate group to form a polynucleotide chain. More nucleotides can be joined in such a manner. At one end, referred to as 5-end of polynucleotide chain, a free phosphate moiety at 5-end of ribose sugar is found at a polymer thus formed. At the other end of the polymer, the ribose has free 3-OH group, which is referred to as 3 end of the polynucleotide chain. Similarly, due to sugar and phosphates, the backbone in the polynucleotide chain is formed. It is from the backbone that the nitrogenous bases linked to sugar moiety project. Every nucleotide residue has an additional OH group present at second position in the ribose in RNA. The uracil is found at the place of thymine, that is 5-methyl uracil, another chemical name for thymine in RNA. Friedrich Mescher in the year of 1869 first identified DNA as an acidic substance present in the nucleus, and he named it as nuclein. The elucidation of structure of DNA remained elusive for very long period of time due to technical limitation in isolating such as long polymer intact. Based on the X-ray diffraction data produced by Maurice Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin in the year of 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick proposed a very simple but famous double helix model for the structure of DNA, that is bDNA. In 1962, Watson, Crick and Wilkins were awarded the Nobel Prize for this. Base pairing between the two strands of polynucleotide chains was one of the hallmarks of their proportions. The observation of Erwin Chargaff that for double-stranded DNA, the ratios between adenine and thymine and guanine and cytosine are constant and equals. One also classified as basis for this proportion, that is adenine and guanine equal to thymine and cytosine. Adenine and thymine need not to be equivalent to guanine and cytosine. A very unique property, the polynucleotide chain is conferred by the base pairing. If the sequence of bases in one strand is known, then the sequence in other strand can be predicted as they are said to be complementary to each other. Refer the diagrammatic representation. The two double-stranded DNA, let them be called as daughter DNA, thus produced would be identical to the parental DNA molecule if each strand from a DNA referred to as parental DNA act as template for synthesis of new strand. The genetic implications of the structure of DNA became very clear because of this. Following are the salient features of the double helix structure of DNA, where the backbone is constituted by sugar phosphate and the bases project. Inside it is made up of two polynucleotide chain. Anti-parallel polarity is seen in two chains, which means that if one chain has the polarity, that is phi-3 direction, the other has 3 to 5 direction because of H bonds, that is hydrogen bonds. DNA strands are anti-parallel, forming base pairs. The bases in two strands are paired through hydrogen bond. Adenine forms two hydrogen bonds with thymine from opposite strand, and vice versa. In similar fashion, guanine is bonded with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonds. Purine always comes opposite to pyrimidine as a result. This result in generation of an approximately uniform distance between the two strands of the helix. The chains are coiled in right-handed fashion, and the pitch of the helix is 3.4 nanometer. A nanometer is 1 billion of a meter, that is 10 to the power of 9 m. And there are roughly 10 base pairs in each tone. The distance between a base pair in a helix is approximately equal to 0.34 nanometer. Consequently, in double helix, the plan of the base pair stacks over the other, thus confers stability of the helical structure in addition to the hydrogen bonds. The helical diameter is 20 Armstrong. It was revolutionary the way in which the proportion of a double helix structure for DNA and its simplicity in explaining the genetic implication was proposed. Francis Crick proposed the central dogma in a molecular biology, which states that the genetic information flows from DNA to RNA. RNA is responsible for protein synthesis. In this slide, some of the examples are given. For example, a bacteriophage is made up of 5386 nucleotides, and another kind of bacteriophage, that is lambda bacteriophage, is made up of 48,502 base pairs. The same like E. coli bacteria is made up of 4.6 into 10 to the power of 6 base pairs. Haploid content of human DNA is made up of 3.3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs. In this slide, it is very clearly given how does the length of the DNA is calculated. Length of DNA equal to number of base pairs multiplied with distance between two adjacent base pairs. For example, the number of base pairs in human is 6.6 into 10 to the power of 9. Hence, the length of DNA is equal to 6.6 into 10 to the power of 9 into 0.34 into 10 to the power of 9. It is equal to 2.2 meter. In E. coli, the length of DNA is 1.36 mm, that is 1.36 multiplied with 10 to the power of minus 3 meter. The number of base pair is 4 into 10 to the power of 6 base pairs. Then let us discuss about packaging of DNA helix. How does DNA is packed? In prokaryotes, the DNA is not scattered throughout the cell. In prokaryotes such as E. coli, though they do not have a defined nucleus, in a region termed as nucleoid, with some proteins that have positive charges, DNA being negatively charged is held in large loops held by proteins. The DNA in nucleoid is organized. DNA occurs in supercoiled form in both prokaryotes as well as in eukaryotes. In eukaryotes, the organization is much more complex due to the phosphate groups. The DNA is negatively charged. Histones are a set of positively charged basic proteins. Depending upon the abundance of amino acid residues with charged side chains, a protein acquires charge. There are 5 types of histone proteins such as H1, H2A, H2B, H3 and H4. These histones are found to be rich in the basic amino acid residues such as lysines and arginines, both of which carry positive charges in the side chains. A unit of 8 molecules called as histone octamer is formed by organized histones. 2 molecules of each H2A, H2B, H3 and H4 form the histone octamer or NU body to form structure called as nucleosome. The negatively charged DNA is wrapped around the positively charged histone octamer. 200 base pairs of DNA helix is contained in a typical nucleosome. H1 histone protein is present in the DNA connecting two adjacent nucleosome. Chromatin, which are thread-like stained, that is colored bodies seen in nucleus. Nucleosomes constitute the repeating unit of them. When viewed under electron microscope, the nucleosomes in chromatin are seen as beads on string structure. To form chromosomes, the beads on string structure is chromatin is packaged to form chromatin fibers that are further coiled and condensed at metaphase stage of cell division. At higher level, additional set of proteins that collectively are referred to as non-histone chromosomal proteins are required for the packaging of chromatin. Some regions of chromatin are loosely packed and stains also light and are referred to as euchromatin in typical nucleus. Heterochromatin is the chromatin that is more densely packed and stains dark, while heterochromatin is inactive. Euchromatin is said to be transcriptionally active chromatin. It is followed by the search of genetic material. The fact that the DNA act as genetic material took long to be discovered and proven, even though the discovery of nuclein by Mesher and the proportion for principles of inheritance by Mendel were almost at the same time. The quest to determine the mechanism for genetic inheritance had reached the molecular level by 1926. Gregor Mendel, Walter Sutton, Thomas Hunt Morgan, and numerous other scientists had narrowed the search to chromosomes located in the nucleus of most cells. Yet, the question what molecule was actually the genetic material was still unspherical. Transforming principle proposed by Frederick Griffith in a series of experiments with Streptococcus pneumoniae, a bacterium responsible for pneumonia, witnessed a miraculous transformation in the bacteria in the year of 1928. A living organism, that is bacteria, had changed in physical form during the course of his experiment. Some produce smooth, shiny colonies. Such kind of bacteria are called as S type, while others produce rough colonies. Such kind of bacteria are called as or bacteria. When Streptococcus pneumoniae, that is pneumococcus bacteria, are grown on a culture plate, this occurs as A-strain bacteria have a mucus, that is polysaccharide coat, while O-strain does not have polysaccharide coat. While mice infected with O-strain do not develop pneumonia, the mice infected with A-strain, that is virulent bacteria, die from the pneumonia infection. So, that is A-strain injected into mice, the result is mice died. O-strain injected into mice, the mice is in live condition. By heating them, Griffith was able to kill bacteria. He arrived at the conclusion that heat killed A-strain bacteria when injected into mice did not kill them. The mice were found to be dead when the Griffith injected S mixture of heat killed S and live or bacteria. Also, the mice were found to be dead when Griffith injected a mixture of heat killed S and live or bacteria. Also, he was able to recover living S bacteria from dead mice. That is, the O-strain bacteria had somehow been transformed by the heat killed A-strain bacteria was Griffith's conclusion. The O-strain was enabled by transforming principle, which was transferred from the heat killed A-strain and helped the O-strain producing a smooth polysaccharide coat and become virulent. This must have occurred due to the transfer of genetic material. However, his experiments were not able to define the biochemical nature of genetic material. Then let us discuss about the biochemical characterization of transforming principle. The genetic material was thought to be a protein before the work of Oswald Avery, Colin MacLeod, and Macklin McCarthy in the year of 1933 to 44 to determine the biochemical nature of transforming principle in Gribb's experiment. They worked to see which ones could transform live O cells into S cells. They purified biochemicals such as proteins, DNA, RNA, etc. from heat-killed S bacterial cell. The fact that the DNA alone from S bacteria caused or bacteria to become transformed was discovered by them. The transforming substances was not a protein or RNA, as they also discovered the protein digesting enzyme proteases and RNA digesting enzyme RNases did not affect transformation, suggesting that DNA caused the transformation. Digestion with DNAs did inhibit transformation. Although not all biologists were convinced, they concluded that the DNA is hereditary material while DNA is enzyme, that is protein, DNA or nucleic acid. Then let us discuss about the genetic material is DNA. From the experiments of Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase in the year of 1952 came the unequivocal proof that DNA is the genetic material. They worked with bacteriophages, which are the viruses that infect bacteria. The bacteriophage attaches to the bacteria and its genetic material to enter the bacterial cell, subsequently manufacturing more virus particles. The bacterial cell treats the viral genetic material as if it was its own. From the viruses that entered the bacteria, Hershey and Chase worked to discover whether it was protein or DNA. They grew some virus on a medium that contained radioactively sulfur, while some on a medium that contained radioactive phosphorus. Refer the diagrammatic representation, it is very clearly given. Here DNA contains phosphorus but protein does not. Viruses grown in a presence of radioactive phosphorus contain radioactive DNA but not radioactive protein. In the same way as DNA does not contain sulfur. Viruses grown on radioactive sulfur contained radioactive protein but not radioactive DNA. Allowed to attach to E. coli bacteria were the radioactive phages. The viral coats were removed from the bacteria by agitating them in a blender as the infection proceeded. By spinning them in a centrifuge, the virus particles were separated from the bacteria, indicating that DNA was the material that passed from the virus to the bacteria. The bacteria which was infected with viruses that had radioactive DNA were found to be radioactive, indicating that proteins did not enter the bacteria from the viruses. Bacteria that were infected with viruses that had radioactive proteins were not radioactive. Hence, it can be said that DNA is hence the genetic material that is passed from virus to bacteria. So it is very clearly given with the help of diagrammatic representation. So refer the diagrams. Let us discuss about the properties of genetic material, DNA versus RNA. By now, it is very evident that debate between proteins versus DNA as the genetic material was unequivocally resolved from Hershey-Chase experiment. The fact that DNA act as genetic material was now proved. Gradually, it became quite clear that in some viruses, RNA is the genetic material. For example, tobacco mosaic virus, QB, bacteriophage, etc. From the differences between chemical structure of two nucleic acid molecules answer to same of the question such as why DNA is the predominant genetic material whereas RNA performs dynamic functions of messenger and adapter has to be found. The following criteria must be fulfilled by the molecules that can act as genetic material. There should be a property to generate its replication. Both the nucleic acid DNA and RNA have the ability to direct their duplication because of rule of base pairing and complementarity. Other molecules such as proteins in the living system do not comply with this rule. Chemically and structurally, it should be stable with different stages of life cycle, age, or with a change in the physiology of the organism. The genetic material should be stable enough not to change. In Gribb's transforming principle itself, that heat which killed the bacteria at least did not destroy some of the properties of genetic material. Stability as one of the property of genetic material was very evident. When appropriate conditions are provided, this can now be easily explained in light of the DNA that the two strands belong complementary if separated by heating come together, making RNA labile and easily degradable. 2 OH group present at every nucleotide in RNA is a reactive group. RNA is reactive as now it is found to be catalytic. Hence, when compared to RNA, DNA chemically less reactive and structurally more stable. Hence, the DNA is better genetic material among the two nucleic acids. The presence of thymine at the place of uracil also confers additional stability to DNA. In fact, required for evolution, it should provide the scope for slow changes, that is mutation. Mutation is shown both by DNA as well as RNA. RNA being unstable mutates at a faster rate. In fact, viruses having RNA genome and having shorter lifespan mutate and evolve faster. Consequently, the expression should occur in the form of Mendelian characters. Easily expressing the characters, RNA can directly code for the synthesis of proteins. However, for synthesis of proteins, DNA is dependent on RNA. It is around RNA that the protein synthesizing machinery has evolved. DNA being more stable is preferred for storage of genetic information is confined from the above mentioned points. Even though both RNA and DNA can function as genetic material, RNA is better for transmission of genetic information. Thank you very much for listening our videos. Those who are watching our videos, you are requested to like, subscribe and share to your friends. All the best.
லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள், கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்கள், சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.